Dinkum is a great game, but there are a few tips and tricks that I think I should share that'd help you along with your journey. One of the biggest things I learned early on in Dinkum is that don't accept requests that you can't do, because if you do accept them and you can't complete them, your relationship with said resident or future resident is going to decrease, which is going to make it longer for them to want to move into the residence. You will get no negative by telling them that no, you can't do it, or no, you can't buy something, and you will just take the new request on the next day. The second tip I have, which is probably one of the best tips for me personally, when you first log into the game, you get through the beginning of the tutorial and you start able to move around in the game, you should immediately change how your camera moves. The camera, how it's currently set up, causes you to either use shift and move the camera around, or middle mouse button to move it around, which I feel doesn't fit at all. So what I did is I changed it to always move with my mouse no matter what, and to invert y-axis. Now I know that inverting y-axis is really weird, but you'll notice that when you invert it, how the camera feels is how it's supposed to actually be. Number 3, if you don't have tin or similar resource for a recipe that you're doing, but you have the process to mount like tin sheets, you can take a tin sheet and throw it back into the furnace and re-melt it back into the bar. There's going to be a lot of times where you've mined the resources around you and then you don't have access to other areas that make getting resources easier. So being able to melt it back into its kind of base form being a bar is very helpful. The fourth tip, choosing a starting location next to multiple biomes will make it easier to complete requests. The reason this being is that you will get requests for all kinds of things, whether it be butterflies or a certain type of fish or some kind of food. And if those things require things from specific biomes, being next to 3 or 4 biomes make it a lot easier to go over there and capture what you need, or fish what you need, or dig up what you need, because they won't always just request stuff from the biome that you're currently in. So what I personally did is I went a little further into the island when I first set up my base. Now the last tip that I have is leveling skills. And when you first start playing the game, it doesn't seem like leveling your skills has a whole lot of use because it doesn't tell you exactly what it gives you. However, getting higher levels in your skills is what leads to unlocking better permits. When you first start buying permits in the game to allow you to do certain things, there's only a base form. Some of the permits have a level 1, 2, and 3, and you can see them with dots next to the screen, but at first, logging will just have the 1. But once those levels are high enough, you will get a mail that says, hey, there's a new kind of license you can get, and when you purchase that license, when it becomes available, you will get recipes, let's say for a copper axe or a copper rod, and more equipment will be available to you. And now go chop down that tree you couldn't chop down before. These are just some simple tips that I've gotten from playing in the game recently. If I have any more, there will be more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.